items. So to get started, I first had to design the storage system. I was messing around with different designs on my own. This is one from Mumbo Jumbo that I've also added a shulker box unloaded to. I was testing to see if this actually was quicker than your normal sort of storage system, and it doesn't actually make a difference. And so rather than trying to figure out myself, because I'm not the biggest of brains when it comes to redstone, I figured I would just use someone else's design because that's the best way of doing it. Now this is a design from Myban MC and his friend Radical Elder, I believe. Myban has actually only got 300 subs, so he deserves a lot more for designing this. But basically it holds every item in the game, and there's also spaces for any
Anti-aging guru Brian Johnson injected his face with fat and it went wrong. Now he's got handsome Squidward build. I'd been following Brian Johnson for a bit. Hadn't seen anything new from him for like the last month or so. Brian Johnson for a... No, I guess it is real. Holy. Wow. That actually looks like when I make goof juice in my Dark Souls playthroughs. He injected his face with fat-derived extracellular matrix. Selfies uploaded this week to his Instagram show his face progressively getting puffier and puffier, resulting in a bizarre and swollen visage straight out of the 2024 horror sci-fi flick The Substance. My biomarkers were improving, but I looked gaunt. People thought I was on the brink of death. That doesn't bode well for the anti-aging protocol and the 600 pills that he takes every 4 hours. But after starting what he called Project Babyface, which involved injecting donor fat, his face began to blow up. And then it got worse and worse until I couldn't even see. It was a severe allergic reaction. In another recent bid to turn back the clock on his body, Johnson underwent a procedure called total plasma exchange. Oh yeah, I remember that. And an alleged attempt to remove all unnatural pollutants from his blood. Some of you have probably seen his work before without realizing who he is. He's the guy who had his son donating his blood and plasma to him so he'd have younger blood and plasma, and then he was donating his blood and plasma to his dad. So he had like this human centipede of blood and plasma from his family tree. His whole thing is like he's spending millions of dollars a year to try and figure out how to de-age. And I've said from the beginning, it's weird, he's wacky, he's creepy, he looks vampiric, but if he actually has any kind of scientific breakthroughs, that's just good for the world. And he's openly publishing all of his findings, so kind of a W. Tough L on this one here, though, with Project Babyface, unfortunately. Got him out of the Oblivion character creator, but I'm sure he'll keep trying. He's just beta testing for the whole world. He's just like a guinea pig for all of it. Click the link that says uploaded this week to see the unfiltered. Oh, okay. Was that edited? Let's see. Oh, wow. So it's not as red. Why even put the filter on there? It's still the same, but at least it's not as red. I don't see the point of the filter. But man, that facial structure. Actual handsome Squidward. He did it. Has anything new even been found through his experiments? Now, I haven't seen any evidence to suggest that his experiments have led to some kind of scientific revolution. You know, he hasn't fucking discovered cold fusion here by injecting eucalyptus oil into each butt cheek every morning or anything. There have been some interesting findings that he has published. All of this is for free, by the way, which is why I think what he's doing is actually pretty cool. He's going through so much experimentation, trying so many different things, and publishing all of the results, like, openly available to anyone who wants to see them. And sometimes, some of his experiments are really wacky, such as this one, where he's de-aging his penis, talking about how he has the erection of an 18-year-old. That's pretty odd. That elicits a fart from me, for sure. Actually, even a double. And you know, that was so good, I think I'll have it a third time. Man, my ass is talking some serious shit right now. Point is, I don't know if he's actually had any, like, crazy breakthroughs with this, but it is still interesting nonetheless. But yeah, that video where he's looking for the fountain of youth for his wiener, definitely on the weirder side of things for sure. But just let's picture that for a moment. Let's say he's like completely successful, but only with that he finds the perfect formula to lock your cock in stasis as like a 20-year-old's member. But everything else doesn't work. So Brian Johnson ends up like 90 years old. He's like rotting away, decaying. His skin's all wrinkly and shit. But he's got a pristine dick. Like, he's got the fucking optimal hog. Who's allowing this to happen? Are there no laws to prevent these experiments? What would the law be? I mean, he's willing... I think he should be well within his rights to do whatever he wants to himself in his own home. The man is like... He's worth like $600 million. He sold like a tech company, and he's dedicated his life to just researching how to make yourself de-age and be healthier. He's not using unethical experiments on anyone. The only two people I know of that he's ever even done experiments on are his son and his dad. Both of which wanted to participate in the experiments. Look at a photo of him from 2015. He looks unrecognizable. I can't remember what he looked like in 2015, but I do. He did have like a substantial change doing this. Yeah, it is like a totally different person. Actually looks like some kind of Detroit Become Human thing. He should really go back to the beard. The beard actually just made him look younger. Probably can't grow one now. No, I'm sure he can. I don't think he like fried his hair follicles or anything with his like daily red light therapy or anything. He aged too far back. He can't. He's biologically a 6-year-old. His facial hair can't come in now. I mean, I guess you could argue he does because his skin looks so much smoother, but he looks more plastic. I wouldn't necessarily say he looks that much younger, but he looks much more plastic. Personally, I think it looks not bad. I don't think he looks terrible or anything. This was a disaster. Looks like it healed though, so didn't really lose anything from it. That's good. That wasn't permanent. But like, I don't think he's in bad shape or anything. Like, he's actually really fit. Here, hold on. He's got the weirdest workout routine though. He is in good shape. He's like almost 50. He's fit. He looks synthetic. And these are his pills that he takes every day. Man has like 60 pills for breakfast and another 60 pills before bed. And bedtime, I think, is 8 p.m. Just to set the record straight, it's 105 pills that he takes every day. And it's broken up into 2 separate parts. And he also stops eating at, I think it was 11. I'm already forgetting because it was just so much information at once. But I'm pretty sure it's 11. And he spends like most of his time in a fasted state. And then his bedtime, he takes sleep super seriously, which... makes a lot of sense. There is so much research and evidence to suggest that sleep is like one of the most important things you can do, but it's also the most cringe thing you can do. I hate sleep. I think if we could just find a way to conquer sleep, we would then go out and conquer the stars. If we just had those like 8-9 hours a day that we spend offline, holy shit, the amount of things we could accomplish. That is the holy grail of science, I think, is finding a way for us to not need to sleep. But since we don't live in that fucking fantasy, it's not Warhammer 40k, sleep is very important, and he talks a lot at length about that. In fact, in that video with Will, he says, like, if there's one thing that you take away from all this, even if you don't like everything else, the one thing you should take away is that sleep is important. Like, very, 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 very important. And it is. You should buy one of his true age tests to see how old your body is at the cellular level. How much are they? That's actually not a bad idea. We should do that. We should do that at the warehouse. See who is cellularly the youngest out of our group. So the decode your DNA. This one, right? It's this one, I'm pretty sure. The True Diagnostic Epigenic Company. Decode your DNA. That actually could be fun. I'm gonna send this to my friends. Hey guys, want to test our DNA? We've already done that. Well, kind of. We tested our testosterone. And we're doing a fertility test pretty soon. See who's got the most potent seed. Let chat do a guess poll on who has the most. For potency? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, we could do that. Once we get the kits, though. I'll wait till we get the kits, then we can do a little chat poll. I've just got a sneaking suspicion, though, when we do the fertility test, one of us is going to be sterile, and it's going to be devastating. It's going to make the video so much more uncomfortable. I just have a feeling. Just a hunch. It'll probably be me too, because growing up, I used to just play City of Heroes on my laptop. Well, it was my parents' laptop. And I just set it on my lap for fucking hours in front of the TV, just letting that fry my sack. I probably burnt all of that to a crisp. I'm sure you've at least heard by now that Logan Paul was caught with his pants down, exposed for one of the largest scams ever run by an influencer. This was all brought to light by the finest detective YouTube has ever had, a channel known as CoffeeZilla. I've talked about CoffeeZilla more than Amy Schumer's talked about her vagina. I can't get enough of his content, and I can't recommend his channel highly enough. It is beautiful stuff. He's like a real-world L from Death Note. But instead of solving murder mysteries, he's solving scams. He's become a boogeyman to any fraudster online, where if he knocks on your door, they run to the basement and hide, like Batman striking fear into the hearts of criminals. And recently, he set his sights on Logan Paul. This is actually an investigation that's been going on for an extremely long time. CoffeeZilla has spent at least a year going through every single detail of this case and getting all sides, talking to the people that helped develop it, as well as people affected by it, and even core members of the team that were in the know on what was going on from the beginning of this project, from the goddamn birth of it. From the very beginning, CoffeeZilla has talked to one of the people that helped bring this project to life, like at the genesis of CryptoZoo. Now, to break it down into a nutshell, CryptoZoo was supposed to be a play-to-earn crypto game where you buy a shitcoin called Zoo, which you use to purchase an NFT egg, which hatches into stock photos of animals. And then you can like breed those stock photos of animals into more stock photos. That's the entire gameplay loop. You look at fucking PNG stock photos of animals that combine like a whale with a frog. That's it. And where you can earn money is by burning those PNGs that you get, and then you can get Zoo in return, claim your yield. It sounds like the worst game ever fucking made. It's a worse game than Super Fight, which was a $200 Steam game that was a single level and only 30 seconds of gameplay. I'd have more fun watching my own car catch on fire with all of my shit inside of it than playing CryptoZoo, but it was never designed to be a game that's fun to play. From the very beginning, it was clearly designed to be a money-making scam to exploit Logan Paul's massive audience. And the game also never even worked, and to this day, over a year later, still doesn't work. You were never able to actually play, and you were never able to actually earn, unless, of course, you were one of the founders from the beginning. Because then, there were a couple of founders that made a lot of money, including a cameo from someone you might be familiar with from previous scams, Jake the Crypto King, known for his Pokemon scam back in the day. He's back. I said on stream that this whole thing feels like the series finale to Logan Paul's career, where all of the side characters come in together for one big final oorah, like an episode where they bring in everyone to celebrate the end of the show. It is crazy just how deep this CryptoZoo rabbit hole goes. I don't want to spoil anything, but yes, Agent 47 is back, and he is once again a very shady and big piece of shit in this whole thing. There are no good guys on the CryptoZoo team. I don't want to get too deep into it because CoffeeZilla tells the whole story, but let me just give you the cliff notes here to get you hooked. This not only has scams galore, it even has fake orphans. It has a man who claims to have won the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2018, despite never having even been associated with football in any capacity. The same guy also claiming to have been like a CIA operative, as well as hacking AOL. There's market manipulation. There's betrayal with the founding fathers of CryptoZoo stabbing each other in the back repeatedly. It just plays out like a soap opera, but was real. Like, even the scammers were scamming each other. So not only were normal people getting fucked in the mouth and losing money on this completely fraudulent product, but even the scammers were scamming each other. Like, it was just pure pandemonium and chaos. There was even a point where the code got stolen and taken to Switzerland, held hostage for $1 million ransom. Like, the web here is so wild and wacky. It is an unreal journey. And I don't want to spoil it all here. I highly recommend you watch the entire 3-part series from CoffeeZilla. I'm only going to be showing you the first part here that I watched and went over to get the bare bones breakdown of the situation, as well as setting the stage, the foundation for the whole investigation going forward. It is just such an incredible ride. CoffeeZilla has truly outdone himself with this investigation, and I'm extremely excited to see how Logan Paul defends it, because the evidence that CoffeeZilla showcases seems pretty bulletproof. It seems like there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for excuses or any kind of justification for anything in regards to CryptoZoo. But, of course, on January 3rd, Logan Paul has hyped up that his response is coming on his podcast, which to me just really feels like an advertisement more than anything. But I will, of course, withhold full judgment until I hear his side, since he hasn't been very open to sharing his side for the last year. This has been like my most anticipated show of the entire year. CoffeeZilla's 3-part deep dive into Logan Paul's crypto scam, CryptoZoo. So I'm extremely excited, and I'm super happy to see CoffeeZilla go so hard on this. He's gained like almost 400,000 subs since posting these videos, something like that, and he deserves it. I know he spent quite a few months investigating this. I know he's also reached out to Logan Paul numerous times to try and get his side of the story, but has been dodged and ducked every single time until he finally posted this video. I saw Logan Paul's tweet saying, actually I'll just pull it up instead of paraphrasing. He did the standard, "I used to love CoffeeZilla, and I always think he gets everything right. Until now." Now he fucked up. Like, this is very cookie cutter. Somehow, every single time CoffeeZilla talks about some kind of big scam like this is always the response. While I generally appreciate Steven's creative genius and exceptional work ethic, I mean that, this one is simply not true. When appropriate, all bad actors will be exposed, explained, and held fully accountable. I'll speak further on Impulsive January 3rd, which to me reads more like an advertisement for his podcast than anything. But I always just love this first line, because this is boilerplate at this point. This is what everyone says when CoffeeZilla makes a video about them. A creative genius, one of the best in the business. Ace detective, like Benoit Blanc. But this time he fucked up, trust me. This time he's wrong.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000.
This is absolutely shocking to me. These aren't children. You're telling me these adults watch Logan Paul? Or did they had to have just heard about this from like crypto subreddits, discords, all trying to like hype train the shit out of this? I refuse to believe that this is Logan Paul's audience. No fucking shot.
$500,000 Australian, which is $500,000 in CryptoZoo.
Shut up!
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 500K.
Oh no.
Today we're investigating Logan Paul's
Yikes.
CryptoZoo, a
Oh my
blockchain
God.
game that made millions but never worked. And of course, at the center of it, we have Logan Paul himself, who has abandoned this
WWE
thing, leaving
superstar,
thousands of
baby.
fake orphans in his wake. Wait a second. Thousands of victims in his wake.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project. We have a massive team behind it. And
Real quick, you might be asking yourself, well, what experience does Logan Paul have with NFTs? And that's a great question to be asking, and I have the answer. He was actually a pioneer in NFTs, and in fact still has some of the best NFTs of all time, such as... are these still up on OpenSea? Well, here's his NFT Pokemon cards. Beautiful stuff, obviously. Very high quality stuff, and I mean, only $10,000 for that, so I mean, reasonably priced as well. Where are his... He used to sell clips, so you could pay thousands of dollars to get an NFT clip of him boxing. Which was a fucking bargain. Honestly, just giving it away at that price. You get like 15-second Twitter clips of his boxing matches. Where are they?
September 1st, CryptoZoo.co.
We don't scam. I've
fine.
never scammed anyone before. Logan cares extremely deeply about his audience, loves his brand, doesn't have to scam to make money.
True, but you make a lot of money doing it, I imagine, so...
Welcome to part
cookie
one,
jar
the
was too
million-dollar
appealing.
mystery that began this whole story.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project. I think that needs to be a fresh take, and this project that I have is that fresh take.
Now look, at first,
Yep,
I was
let's
just as
go.
surprised at this pitch as anyone else because I just got finished roasting Logan for a different coin called Dink Doink, which is fans
Doink.
lose money on.
I'm a Dink Doink fan.
And it wasn't even a project at all. It was a game that could earn you money.
I'm excited to launch.
Called Pay to
You
Earn.
keep using a, and you
Or,
just did it
Jesus,
again, you keep
play to
using a
earn.
word there. Game. You're not using like a project. It's a game.
It's a game. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
You started by buying this crypto token called Zoo, which is their in-game currency, and you use Zoo coins to then buy egg NFTs, which you can then hatch to become animals. You then can breed those two animals to become hybrid animals. For example, if you breed a gorilla,
What a fun
and
sounding
you
game.
get a gore kitty. And the more rare the NFT, the
I get to
higher
breed
the daily
animals?
yield
Sign
of
me
Zoo
up.
tokens that animal earns you every day. Theoretically, it works like almost like passive income. You can then burn your animal NFTs to release the zoo they earned back to you, and from there you can invest it into eggs or just cash out. Now, some of you of the Egyptian persuasion might notice some triangular qualities.
No, that's a
to this game
coincidence.
description.
We handmade art for the past 6 months, bro. Approval, very specific notes, 10 different artists making art for our project.
That doesn't
Now,
sound
I'll
like a
admit,
lot of artists.
This all sounds
for that.
very enticing. Handmade art, a
Not
fun
really.
game that can earn you
Doesn't
money.
sound
and
enticing.
one of the biggest influencers in the world backing it.
It was Logan Paul at the end of the day. An internet personality that I actually trusted. That I actually
Why?
kind of
What did?
believed
What?
in.
Obviously,
Well,
when
I feel terrible that that happened to you, but what? What in the history of Logan Paul has earned anyone's trust ever? Like, I can't think of anything he's ever done that was honest. Like, I legitimately can't. Except for him saying that he made a repeated lapse in his judgment when he filmed a dead body. Like, that's like the only thing I can think of with like honesty associated with Logan Paul. But yeah, I mean, Prime did come out. I've tried it. I mean, it's a real drink. I wasn't instantly poisoned or anything. It was fine. I actually thought it was good. But I'm just gonna chalk that up to KSI. I'm just gonna say KSI did everything because I legitimately have no trust in Logan.
But as the game got closer to release, the CryptoZoo team started releasing the first ever photos of these animals. And come to find out, this handmade art story wasn't really true. It was actually Adobe stock photos mashed together. This was the sort of first red
What?
flag of this project.
Hey!
And I made a video about it at the time, but it was kind
Let's
of
go.
surface level, and something
what the
didn't
fuck?
add up beneath the surface. Something where I just couldn't. And it's not handmade at all. It's not even original. It's what's called a fork, a copy of, some other code that exists out there. One of them is called Floki Shib X, which launched before it. So where'd this $1 million go? I didn't understand.
There never was.
Wait. Play that again. Did you hear that?
There was no way to claim your yield. There never was.
Hold on.
I can't
The core
believe it.
mechanic of crypto
What?
that you can make money with these stupid
No.
animals didn't even work on launch day, and still to this day, a year later, still does not work.
So I acquired a bunch of eggs, and I actually want to play the game. I didn't acquire the eggs with the intent of keeping them. I actually wanted to hatch them and see what I got out of them and play in this ecosystem that's.
I am sorry this happened to you, my friend. What compelled you to want to play this game? There is no game. The game is you buy an egg, and then we give you a stock photo of what this animal might look like with a goofy nose. What is the game? Like, the only reason anyone would have ever put money into this is off the hope that they're somehow able to make a payday out of it. Like, cash in their yield for some kind of profit. There is no, like, actual game mechanics. It is, here's a couple pictures you can look at. That's it. That's fucking it. Just the worst Pokemon. It's not even a Pokemon at all. Like, even, let's take a card game. Even a card game has game mechanics. You play against someone, there is a goal, there is something you do, there is an actual gameplay element to it. Here, the gameplay is you hatch an egg, and we combine this photo of a moose with a photo of my cat. And that's it. And now you have played our game, and now you can either choose to keep that picture and hope it appreciates in value, yield some more zoo, or you burn it to acquire your zoo. Those are your two options, neither of which constitute a game. Jesus Christ.
It's never been up.
Wait, you can't even hatch?
No, I'm telling you, it's just a picture. There's nothing I could do with it.
You're kidding!
That's the whole game. It's just a picture. Even when you can hatch, it's just another picture.
You can ask any of those community guys. It's basically worth nothing whatsoever.
Wow. So on launch day, basically nothing worked. And a year later, that's still true. Now, after this was discovered, the price of Zoo fell 63% in just 24 hours. CryptoZoo already got millions in investments, but Logan only speaks in the Discord twice over the next year to say, quote, sober, currently shaking my head, and yo.
Yo!
That was his contribution
Let's go.
to this project. Meanwhile,
That's
his
pretty cool.
community manager, Ben Roth,
because surely Logan Paul, who's got this billion-dollar hydration company and a WWE star, he's got enough money. He doesn't need to rug us lot.
and it's because of these false promises about marketing that these poor investors believed in CryptoZoo so long. They sat and watched every
It actually
Logan
is
Paul
very
episode.
impressive how far you can get when people just believe that you're too wealthy to exploit them. Like, if someone just believes you have so much money, that for some reason makes you trustworthy. That's wild to me. Because I'd always think it's the fucking opposite.
Too much of this is out, but he's been working on a massive project.
And the one of them will be the biggest thing I ever do. It's like my life and soul is put into this project, which is where most of my time these days goes.
I'll tell you about this project when we get closer to launch.
Yeah.
This project of mine is going to be...
Is that the thing with the egg? Like the zoo?
No.
Okay, that's
This
one.
one. This is going to be... Yeah. This is crazy.
No, that shit sucks. That shit is garbage. I can't believe you guys bought that.
If you're one of
Holy
these
fuck, it was
investors.
awful.
And Logan
You
Paul's
brought up
the
the
one
egg?
pitching
That
this
was a
new
joke.
secret project, and you're thinking it's CryptoZoo, and someone's like, "Oh, is it that thing with the eggs?" And he's like, "No, definitely not. That was the last project. This is the real project that I'm working on."
Much going on behind the scenes. Like, Doug, I'm not the bad guy here.
Yeah.
There's some actual out there.
Yeah.
And it's not me. Like, I'm here to build.
Oh, okay.
This is a space
Now
where
that's
a lot of people
okay. Well, now I
do
believe
see
you.
dollar signs. Like any burgeoning industry, if there's money to be made, there's going to be both good and bad people.
There's a
Okay,
lot of
well, at
shady
least we set the
characters in
record
crypto
straight.
Space. I'm learning all of it. We had an issue. Took the code that he made, fled to Switzerland, actually fled to Switzerland, and like held it hostage for $1 million. Like behind the scenes drama that took a stick and stuck it in the spokes of my wheels.
Oh, well, that wasn't expected. There's a shady developer who held up Logan's code hostage in Switzerland. That's why this hasn't worked the whole time. He held it hostage for $1 million. Well, and find out the truth of what happened. Why did he steal Logan's code for $1 million? However,
That's what I really appreciate about CoffeeZilla. He's such a stronger man than I. That is like the most egregiously bullshit story ever. Like, genuinely, I don't believe a single fucking phrase uttered in that same breath. I don't think there's any world where that's actually true, but CoffeeZilla is still going to investigate it anyway.
I finally got a hold of him, and when I did, he
It's
admitted
true?
he took
No
the code
way.
hostage, but he says the reason for it was nothing like what Logan had
No.
said.
What?
Never paid me anything at all, ever. I never paid. And, we got to a point when I was working on it where I just realized they were just going to try to steal all of my work and not me. So I took all of the source code private in the 30 engineers. I'm burning $50,000 a week on building this thing.
Building what? You take a picture and you have your stock photos that you mash together to make a new picture when it hatches. Where is $50,000 a week going? Where? How? Holy shit, this is outrageous. But I am beyond shocked that this is at least a half-truth. So the guy did flee to Switzerland after holding the code hostage, but it was because Logan didn't pay him or the team. So he was telling a half-truth on the situation. I can't believe any part of it was true. That is already quite the twist for me.
According to him, they negotiated a $1 million payday for this whole project. And from the second I heard that, I thought, oh, that's interesting because Logan claims he spent $1 million on this whole thing. And this developer saying he's owed $1 million on this.
We've been paid nothing. I would have loved to have Zoo, but I don't have any.
So that's multiple sources working on the CryptoZoo team project who were not paid. Now, obviously, these are big accusations, which is why I wanted to confront Logan Paul on them. But unfortunately, we're not exactly on speaking terms. So I wonder, how could I speak to Logan without speaking to Logan? Logan Paul's manager, a guy named Jeff Levin.
Oh, Jeff.
He might be just what we need to settle this whole thing. So I gave him a call.
Hello?
Hey, Jeff. Hey, sorry to bother you. This is Steven with CoffeeZilla. I'm calling because I've heard reports that CryptoZoo hasn't paid their development team, and I'm just reaching out for comment before I do this story. I just want to follow up on that.
I have no comment for it.
Okay,
Oh, well, fair enough.
Are you guys
Okay.
denying it, or are you saying it's not true?
Just no comment. I don't think that the information is true.
You guys have a whole side to
I know,
your
but
story here.
Your job as someone that is reporting news is to actually verify correct news.
Well,
Right, that's why I'm calling you.
I know, and that's legal grounds for that stuff. So I'm just telling you, legally, you have to report correct news with verifiable information.
Right, that's why I'm calling you.
As we've been advised always, is if anybody reports fake news, that's where we won't.
Then set the record straight. What? What? Is everyone around Logan just a fucking idiot? Like an actual bumbling buffoon? Huh? That is why he called you. You could have absolutely just, if it's not true, shut it down. Or tell him, yeah, it's not true. I wasn't aware of this. We can go ahead and get some material together to prove that it's all fake. Bang. Right then and there. You don't have to immediately tell CoffeeZilla all the evidence or anything. Just say like, hey, it's not true. If you can give us some time, we can get together all the material and send it your way to prove that they're being dishonest about the information. Simple. Jesus Christ, Logan, hire me as your manager. Jesus. Could have saved you a massive fucking headache if this is all fake. How can you be so dumb?
A mess. Jeff, Logan's manager, seems to be implying that I'm not allowed to repeat allegations his own development team made, even though Logan can go on podcasts and publicly accuse those developers of stealing his code. Not only that, he's the one who refuses to provide any evidence, but seems to sort of be implying that maybe we'll sue you if you tell this to anyone, which he then denies doing when I ask him if that's what he's doing.
Told you I have no comment to it. Telling you once again, from a legal standpoint, you have to report truth. If you do not
Is this an
verify
NPC?
truth,
Why does he keep saying this?
Then you're just allegations, and those then will be handled the way that we want to handle it.
Okay. I understand you may have graduated Arizona State with the business degree, but holy shit, that is not being put to good use here, Jeff. You must have fallen ass backwards into this position. He is calling you so that way you can defend against the allegations. You don't have to do it right now on the phone call. Just say they're not true, and we will defend them. And here's our evidence. We can eventually get you our evidence. It is that simple. Like, it is that fucking simple. How dumb is this guy? Like, oh my god. He is calling you because he is trying to verify it as a trustworthy source. He wants the whole story. And how the fuck else is he supposed to verify it without talking to you? The team, the people behind it, the ones who now have the allegations. You are the only ones that can verify the authenticity of the claims. He can't go to the Better Business Bureau, who's somehow going to be having all the fucking answers to this. This guy is so dumb. He is so unbelievably dumb. And then making that like a sly little threat about it. He's Logan Paul's actual punching bag. He has to just keep Jeff around just to take all the flack. That's got to be the only reason. He's like a little public spittoon for Logan Paul. Oh, what? No, I would have absolutely denied these things. Oh, that's just Jeff. Jeff, man, he's so fucking dumb. Yeah, no, oh my god, I can't believe Jeff. What a silly guy.
I have no comment on the situation.
Mm-hmm. Good defense.
Your job legally is to report facts. If you don't report facts on the information you're given, it is illegal.
It's not. You can report allegations. That's the whole fucking point of an allegation. He's not saying it's the truth. He is saying they're allegations, and he wants to verify, are these allegations accurate or are they inaccurate? You can absolutely talk about allegations.
Who is he? Who is Eddie Ibanez?
It's a made-up name. That's a made-up
Yes,
name,
hi,
isn't
my
it?
name's Eddie Ibanez, lead developer here at CryptoZoo.
Oh,
This
never mind.
reporter said
Damn,
Eddie's
thought it was gonna be a
entire
crazy
story
plot twist.
is fake.
Wait, what?
It's finally here. A response more hyped up than the Avatar sequel. Logan Paul is addressing the massive 3-part investigation conducted by CoffeeZilla, exposing CryptoZoo as a potential scam. Logan Paul was not too happy about that nomenclature, so he made a video pretty much doubling down on everything about CryptoZoo never being a scam, while admitting to hiring criminals for the team and trying to poke holes in CoffeeZilla's credibility, but without ever providing evidence for why CoffeeZilla's no longer credible. It's not the best response, but it was enough to win over a lot of people's trust somehow, even though Logan Paul never actually addresses any of Coffee's claims with the evidence Coffee provides. Instead, he fixates on a couple of small things, none of which actually contribute to disproving anything from CoffeeZilla's video series or his year-long investigation, and instead just kind of serves to assassinate CoffeeZilla's character, and then throws the condom on the floor and says he's taken CoffeeZilla to court. I'll see you in court, bub. He makes it clear that he will be pursuing legal action against Coffee for this investigation, so overall, very curious to see how this all plays out from here. I'm going to show you his response video as well as me going over it, because like I said, he never actually addresses any of the evidence-backed claims that CoffeeZilla provides from his investigation. He doesn't do anything to prove his innocence. All he does is talk about CryptoZoo's coming. I'll make sure of it. What's he gonna give us? Well, so far it looks like he's given us just barely enough nutrients to survive. Like, I'm still hungry. CoffeeZilla released a 3-part series on an investigation that spanned the course of a year. Logan Paul gave us a 7-minute appetizer that he's trying to serve us as the entree. Like, come on, there's no meat on these bones here. Let's ride.
CoffeeZilla. I watched your 3-part series called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam, and like many on this platform, you have successfully used my name for views and money. While you're...
I immediately already hate that start. CoffeeZilla's entire brand is all about exposing scams in the space. You yourself commended him for his work ethic and his, like, actual great content. And you have immediately wiped your ass with that phony statement. What an awful start. We are 7 seconds into this and it's already a terrible start. You've already exposed yourself for one lie already. You called yourself a fan and how Steven always gets it right. Until now. And now all of a sudden it's all about views because of your name. Yucky.
For views and money. While your work used to be impartial, your addiction to clicks has clouded your judgment and you've made very real errors with very real repercussions. Coffee, you took a shot at my reputation. So in this video today, I'm going to be defending myself with facts, something that you have gotten in the habit of twisting as you continue to morph from an investigator to a gossip channel. You see...
Interesting, because he gets like the whole story even from the people he's exposing. He directly talked to like Amio Talio for Paradox Metaverse and stuff. I am curious which ones he's referring to. That's a bold statement. Do you have anything to back that up, Logan? Is that in here somewhere? Spoiler alert, no. This is just a plot thread with no closure here. He says that he's been making very real errors as he's morphed into more of a gossip channel, yet provides nothing to substantiate that claim. No evidence. He just says, he's getting things wrong now. Source? I made it the fuck up. Trust me, bro. That's the source. Like, that is laughable. You can't state that, you can't make that claim and have nothing to back it up. Besides this situation, which you're claiming is wrong, what else? You're saying that now, as he's gotten more popular, he's no longer impartial, he's more of a gossip channel that's completely fine with getting facts wrong. Can you show me something that proves that statement from you? You didn't. Do you have anything, or are you just pulling it out of your asshole?
You see, CoffeeZilla tried to work with law enforcement in the past, but his work was described as not anchored to truth and often speculative. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, and he's nothing more than the Keemstar of crypto and finance. But as opposed to just telling you, I'm going to show you some of the core discrepancies that I caught.
Oh, that's such a big claim. Whoa, the legendary double fist into the butthole of wild claims with no evidence, huh, Logan? A bold maneuver. Now he says that he tried to work with law enforcement but was often deemed not anchored in truth or the work was speculative. Do you have anything to back that up anywhere? You making that statement piqued my interest, and I feel like I did more investigative work on me just being curious than you did for your whole response video, because I reached out to CoffeeZilla and talked about some of the claims here. And CoffeeZilla was as confused as everyone else when you talked about this one, about wanting to work with law enforcement. According to CoffeeZilla, he's never wanted to work with law enforcement, never has tried to, and in fact the only time he's ever had any communication with law enforcement is when they approached him to hand over some of his evidence on a case. So I don't know where the fuck this is coming from.
Code fled to Switzerland and held it hostage for $1 million. Well, his name is Zach Kelling. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies, one for aggravated robbery, armed robbery at a liquor store, and the other for...
Sounds like a good member of the CryptoZoo
obstructing
team.
the legal process. I can see why you kept him anonymous. Who will be calling Z here, I guess among many things, had not only an agenda, but a fondness for orange jumpsuits.
Why is he on your team? In fact, him omitting that detail makes you look a little more competent. Now that I know you hired a fucking criminal to work on the project, I have even less faith in you to make good choices. This doesn't discredit anything. At all, actually. This just makes you look worse.
Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear and moved on? Because even if you're lying to yourself, Steven, you still have to believe it. And I know what you're thinking. What type of idiot would work with an unsavory individual?
That is what I was thinking.
I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional con man that I have since learned fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and...
Hey, who'd you learn that from, Logan? Which source did you learn that information from? Surely it wasn't Steven, since you're talking about how untruthful and how often speculative and wrong it is, so surely you didn't learn that information from Steven, right, Logan?
Invest in a cryptocurrency, was allegedly responsible for 2 rug pulls before you interviewed him. So either you missed that or you knew it and failed to let the public know. Why? Because it was a clear sign that he was also untrustworthy. You seemed 1 second of research would prove that to be false, as you can definitely hatch eggs and even breed your animals.
Click on that. Oh, we got a duck.
And as you pointed out in your fine print, cross-hatching was available on ETH at one point, but you perpetuated the opposite as truth with your chest out.
Basically, nothing worked.
And by the way, Guy, almost all NFTs are just pictures.
Tell you, it's just a picture.
And surely is...
So the project sucks. So it's nothing new like you proposed. It is just, again, JPEG on JPEG, and that's it. It's not a game. You're right, NFTs are all worthless pictures, but you were proposing a game. In fact, your friend was like, oh, you're not even talking about this like a project. This is like a game. And your exact words was, it's a game. It's a really, really fun game. But now you're just here saying, it's just pictures. Which is the point everyone was making. It's not a game. It's more just NFT JPEGs that are just stock images. You're contradicting your own sales pitch. So I don't know about this guy. This guy could very well be super untrustworthy. I'll take Logan's word for it here. These were interviews with alleged victims of the rug pull. Now, even if this guy, and I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt here, even if this guy is a very shady character, he could have still been scammed. It's not mutually exclusive, because he's not the only one. So among the thousands upon thousands of people you scammed, one of them happens to be a douchebag scammer as well. That doesn't discredit the whole point, though. There was like 12 other people he interviewed as well, but even the non-interviewed people, there were tons of victims. Coffee used him as a spokesperson. No, he had like 12 other people there, and he just had his testimonial as part of it.
Right? So why have you allowed the illegal recording of Jeff's phone call without his permission? And then more like an internet criminal, post it online.
And it was interesting, it was like,
Crypto King Jake stole $6 million. True or not, we had already removed him from the team when we realized Conman Eddie, lead developer, stole $1.7 million. True or not, when we learned he was a bad actor as well, while myself and Jeff sold nothing and made nothing as verified through investigation and the blockchain.
Jeff, Logan's manager, to my knowledge, never sold. Neither did Logan Paul.
I repeat, and illegal. I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it. And maybe we could have...
Oh, he's throwing it down! I guess to piggyback off that, why didn't you update the community on the project? Why didn't you talk to the community that brought all of this to light, who felt scammed for the last year and has lost tons and tons and tons of money on it? Why have you only ever sent 3 Discord messages, one of them right before posting this video? This is very easy to continue going back and forth with the finger pointing. If it's not a scam and you really are working on it, why the complete radio silence with your community? And even if he was, you can still say, hey, we're going through legal trouble, but we're still working on the game. We're not a scam. We're working on it. And what about the handmade asset, or the handmade art, which was proven to be stock photos? Is he going to address that? This is just too short to address all of the actual evidence that CoffeeZilla submitted.
Talked about this. If you had reached out to me personally, not my manager Jeff, who is not me, Steven, but the first time you did was on Christmas Eve after you released your series, so you could rely on false statements and unreliable people used recklessly. That's fine. You've denied my invitation multiple times. You're still invited. It can be a one-on-one. If not, we're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
Amen. Damn, that was big. 7 minutes of fury, but not a whole lot of evidence on specific claims, just more broader things. So you hired 2 criminals because you didn't do any amount of background research. Why is there faith in CryptoZoo? Why should there be going forward? How about here? It's coming. How? Have you replaced the 2 criminals? But yeah, he did he posted in the Discord for the first time in a year right before releasing that. So he has 3 messages in the Discord. One of them was yo. And then the other one was I'm drunk, or I'm sober right now. So he hasn't really been keeping the community up to date with what's going on, which is why for a year now everyone's felt like they've been scammed. 0 apologies, 0 addressing victims, and 0 accountability. Logan accuses me of not reaching out to him directly until December 24th, but doesn't mention I reached out over a year ago prior on Instagram. Not the optimal platform to get a response, but I also don't know how you're supposed to get in touch with someone like Logan Paul either if it's not through his manager. There's no direct means of communication that I know of. It was only after a year of not getting a response that he began calling his manager for answers about CryptoZoo and got comically stupid responses. So now you're admitting like you just didn't see it. Which, I mean, it's through Instagram. It's not optimal, but like, it's not hard to believe that he wouldn't know how to get in contact directly with you if it's not through your manager. That's the whole point of a manager. He could have used Twitter. He's blocked on Twitter. Logan blocked him. Plus, Logan Paul's DMs are closed. I can't DM Logan Paul. No, I don't expect you to see every DM, which is why I reached out to your manager and explicitly said I was trying to reach you because I hadn't gotten a response. I mean, them's the receipts. I mean, yeah, Jeff read it. So, oof. What kind of people is Logan Paul hiring? Literal criminals. He admits to it. He hired a fucking criminal. Well, 2 of them, actually. Well, 3 if you count Crypto King. 3 criminals. He had Eddie, the professional con man, who was just a blatant con man. I don't know how anyone on Logan Paul's team could hear this guy's story and think for a second he's real. He claimed to have won the fucking 2018 Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles and claimed to be like a hacker responsible for AOL hacking. And also a CIA operative. And also works closely with billionaires and shit. Like, it takes minutes to deduce that this guy's probably not the real deal. And then, I don't know why he ever teamed up with Jake the Crypto King. That guy is just an actual serial scammer. I hope that he does talk more on Impulsive because, like I said, he didn't tackle specific claims with evidence such as all of the text messages and all of the actual statements from the group meetings that I believe Jake the Crypto King provided, where it showcased his, like, the whole team's motives behind the project as well as market manipulation and then everything falling apart behind the scenes. He doesn't tackle the handmade art assets being just blatantly false and provably wrong. Apparently, I didn't do the research myself, but from all the evidence seems pretty cut and dry. He didn't tackle the actual specific claims on the project. He's going more big picture with it, but he focused in on some really small ones, I think. Again, this guy being a scammer and also getting scammed by CryptoZoo doesn't really prove a point other than this one guy is a piece of shit who also got scammed by my project. He lost money on it just like everyone else. You shouldn't have been in your video. And that's fair. Definitely not a good spokesperson giving testimonials if he's also not a good person. But it also doesn't discredit all of the true victims that are there. But he doesn't prove his innocence here either. This is still a project that should have no backers. He hired 3 fucking criminals to run it with him. There's no amount of background checking, there's no communication, everyone did lose money on it. There is no reason that this should continue to exist. What he should do is apologize to everyone that lost money and just fucking refund their investments. Just eat shit on it and move on. If you want to continue to try and have a good reputation. Even if it wasn't designed to be a scam, which, again, all of those group chat messages as well as everything provided from Jake, I believe, seems like from the beginning it was designed to just be a money-making exploit. But even if that wasn't the point, everyone did lose money on it. It is still in a non-functional state overall for the majority of your users. Do you think there is anything Logan can actually take legal action on? I don't think so. I don't see how he could, if I'm being honest. I don't really think there was anything necessarily defamatory about CoffeeZilla's video, and I don't think that's what he's going to go for. He's going to go for the unethical record. Like, I think it is like actually illegal to record a private phone call conversation. He's going to go for that angle, talking about an illegally recorded phone call with his manager. So if he is going for something legal, I think that's the angle he'll take because he does have a leg there. But as for defamatory, I don't think so, since it was part of just like an actual open investigation that was publicized. Plus, I don't really think you're going to win as a crypto company that actually did have tons and tons and tons of victims that lost money on it. Not in Texas. It's not illegal in Texas. Is that right? I didn't know that. CoffeeZilla's in Texas. Well, yeah, that's why that would be relevant to this. No, it's probably not about winning. It's probably just about strong-arming because Logan has significantly more money to hire a legal team and bully for a long, long time. You're definitely biased, though. I would have been super open to Logan Paul somehow figuring out, like, how to prove all of that wrong. It's just the evidence was, like, pretty tight. It wasn't just, like, circumstantial nonsense. It was, like, very thorough investigation, man. That's not bias. That's looking at evidence and seeing, this is, you know, not a lot of wiggle room, but I'm open to hearing. And I heard a couple of decent points. Granted, I don't think they're that strong overall, like, CoffeeZilla omitted that one of my core developers is actually a criminal. Like, okay, he didn't say that. You are right. CoffeeZilla probably knew this guy was a criminal and didn't bother mentioning it. Though I don't think mentioning it makes you look better. In fact, I think it really makes you look worse. You hired him. You did no amount of information gathering or background checking. But you're right. CoffeeZilla didn't mention that. That was omitted. Or CoffeeZilla not doing his research enough on this guy being a scammer. Fair enough. That is correct. He is not someone that should have been in the testimonials as one of the victims, though, even though he probably did lose money on it. It's a scammer who got scammed. It doesn't discount the rest of the people who gave testimonials that did lose money, but you focused on one who is a bad person, apparently. That's fair enough. Yeah, CoffeeZilla probably shouldn't have had him in the testimonials. And then the egg hatching thing. I believe there was evidence about the egg hatching not being functional fully when the game launched. And I think in CoffeeZilla's video, he did say, like, they did eventually try and get that working, but it's still not in a fully functional state. But those are, like, the only points. And then this call being illegally recorded, which apparently is not illegal in Texas. And then he confirms what CoffeeZilla confirmed about Jake stealing, Eddie stealing, and Jeff and Logan never selling. He confirmed that. So CoffeeZilla was right. I think that was it, right? There wasn't anything else. Yeah. And then it was just about him, like, saying, we're working our ass off. It's going to come out. It's not a scam. Without providing any information on what exactly they're going to do differently. You're going to hire more criminals? It's just scammers scamming scammers. Yeah. That's exactly what it was internally. Again, another thing he didn't address was all of the group chats that are now public. He didn't deny them either. He just legitimately didn't even bother talking about it. Or any of their internal memos about market manipulation. It's enough for his fans who didn't watch the coffee video, though. Yeah, it is going to be enough for the fans, and it's going to be enough for the CryptoZoo backers who are still holding on to that, like, false hope, but... Here, just going through Twitter takes real quick. This seems kind of representative of most of the hive mind on it, so I'm just going to read it. Though this is just one person's opinion, kind of echoed in different ways. Logan and his team need to be held accountable for picking horrible partners, but to say he scammed when he didn't sell is insane. Just because he didn't sell doesn't mean that it wasn't a scam. Tons and tons of people lost money, and his internal partners did sell, making millions. Who's to say Logan Paul wouldn't have sold if it kept going? Plus, all of the group chat that is now public seems to have confirmed that this whole thing was just all about making as much money as possible and as quickly as possible on a bad idea. Still a scam. Just because it didn't sell doesn't mean it's not a scam. You 100% was going to sell if it didn't happen. Yeah, but that's just speculation. I don't know. I don't know if he would have sold. I will say the reason, one thing that definitely contributed to not selling is after Jake sold and made $6 million, the price right in the shitter. So obviously he wasn't going to sell too. And then Eddie sold $1.7 million and then deeper into the shitter. So clearly he wasn't going to be selling regardless. I don't know if his intention was to sell, but it seems like the intention with the project, based on all of the group chats, was to make as much money off the audience as he could for the whole team. Didn't he make money from the egg sales? That I still don't really know. Even in CoffeeZilla, I was scratching my head because I don't know. I don't think you can say for sure whether or not he himself pocketed money off of the egg sales. That I think is still just kind of tough to say for certain. Watch the CoffeeZilla video now. It's a lot different with this context. What the fuck? He didn't context? What are you talking about? I guess in this one part where this guy giving his testimonial is untrustworthy, but other than that, it doesn't change the lens. The evidence is still there. He didn't tackle any of the evidence other than saying that one of them was unethically and illegally gathered through that recorded phone call. And that's really about it. Or that Z that he was talking to was actually a criminal that Logan hired. Like, it doesn't change the lens. How the fuck is Logan still sticking with Jeff? That I don't know. Jeff just sounds like an actually observable stupid man. Like an actual stupid idiot. I don't know why he keeps Jeff around. I don't. I really don't. I actually think Logan had no idea who was being hired. It was all Jeff, but Logan's gonna still take the fall for it because he just let Jeff run rampant like a dog off the leash. Hired 2 criminals, and then those criminals hired a criminal. So then eventually they hired all 3 fucking criminals. Like, I don't know why he keeps him around. He didn't say how it was a scam. I actually think a lot of children have too much easy access to the internet. What do you mean, explain how it was a scam? Like, what do you mean? The method of scamming was gathering as much money from people, talking about how fun this game is and how you can play to earn money on this game. And then the game comes out. The game isn't in a functional state for a while. Maybe it is now, perhaps. Logan seems to insinuate that it is functional. But regardless, it is worth nothing, meaning you did not play for a while. And now when you do play, you don't earn. So you just lose money. However, his team made, in total, $7.7 million off of selling. It's called Pump and Dump. Now, Logan and Jeff didn't sell. That is true. That didn't happen. But just because they didn't sell doesn't mean it wasn't a scam. There is a group chat where they were talking about money-making ways through the crypto space and copying a certain project that was very lucrative, and the entire conversation was always about making money off of Logan's audience. They then even get into market manipulation tactics, talking about what's an acceptable amount to sell on any given day to not influence price too much. It's a scam. That is a scam. I don't know why I needed to break it down into the Cliff Notes for you. I don't see why that was necessary. But I hope we're all on the same page now. Now, Logan Paul is denying that this was ever the case. So he's not like apologizing to all of the people that lost money or anything. He's saying that with this guy stealing the code, it was a huge setback and there's just been so much going on behind the scenes, and then Jake tanking it and then Eddie tanking it. It's just been hard to rebuild, but he's been working super hard to bring it back. But he still is missing the big problem. Nothing was communicated to the buyers. They have been left in the dark for over a year. Logan Paul has made 2 Discord messages in a year. One of them was, yo, and the other was, I'm sober, shake my head. He made a 3rd Discord message 2 days ago, right before posting this video. There's nothing being conveyed to all of those people that lost a ton of money. So even if it's not, even if Logan Paul never thought it was a scam, there were very real victims that lost very real money on this project, all because of him. Do you think Logan will actually follow through with his court thing? Yes. I think 100% Logan Paul will follow through with the court thing. He has significantly more money than CoffeeZilla. He doesn't even need to win in court. He just needs to bully him. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do. 100%. Why do you think Coffee declined Logan's invite to the podcast? Because you got invited right before Christmas. And then again, right before New Year's. Who's going to want to fucking fly to LA for that on his podcast? Of course he's not doing that. CoffeeZilla also reached out saying, hey, let's just do it over a video call. Why did Logan decline a video call, which is significantly easier and more convenient? So he could try and intimidate him. There's plenty of reasons not to go on Logan's podcast to talk about it. I think the obvious one, Logan completely controls what actually makes it into the final cut. Like, there's nothing to be gained there. Why not just do it over a video call on a stream? Literally anything. CoffeeZilla offered just a full video voice call so they can talk about it, which is very convenient for both parties. Logan Paul didn't even mention Dink Doink. Like, yes, I know. We all know Logan Paul has had some very shady shit, but this was focused on CryptoZoo, and he didn't address the evidence-backed, all of the evidence-backed claims from CoffeeZilla. He focused on just a couple of nitpicks, really. And then the broader picture of, I didn't sell, and CryptoZoo's not supposed to be a scam, and I'm committed to making it real and work and fixing it. He just posted the CryptoZoo's Twitter for the first time in a year. Yeah, the timing is really weird. That is so odd that now all of a sudden he's all in on CryptoZoo despite radio silence for a year. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. You seem pretty biased. I'm so tired of that word losing all meaning. One side had evidence, the other side didn't. It's just that simple. I was very open to hearing how Logan Paul would attack the evidence, like maybe there was holes in it, maybe things are misconstrued or misrepresented, but he didn't. He didn't even address the things with actual substantial evidence. That's the whole thing. The word bias has lost all meaning right now. He discredited a witness, and that doesn't discredit him from being a victim of the scam, by the way. How many times do I have to say it? This guy, Emilio, can be a scammer himself, have a shady past, and still have been one of the many victims of CryptoZoo. It's not mutually exclusive. But yes, I agree. He should not have been in the testimonials for the victims. In fact, if he wasn't, Logan Paul would only have a single point in this video. Which is, you recorded my manager being a fucking idiot without his permission, and it's illegal somewhere. There would be absolutely no grounds at all for defamation. Plus, as he even mentions, he never made any money off CryptoZoo, allegedly. And he even says he never plans to make any money off CryptoZoo. When it comes to a defamation case, you have to prove damages. What was damaged? A reputational damage, I guess? Kind of a stretch, though, because the reputational damage is from the project failing, not so much CoffeeZilla's video. You would easily be able to argue that the actual reputational hit came from delivering or never delivering a product. I just feel like that's going to be tough. I like how he calls CoffeeZilla's videos an oversimplification when it's 3 parts of a year-long investigation and you release 7 minutes and don't debunk any of his claims. Yeah, he was the one that oversimplified the situation. Before being done with the topic, there's one more thing I'd like to say, and it's right
I
here.
can help understand. For years of personal reform, going through trials and tribulations, and busting my ass to evolve into a person that I can say I'm actually proud of, you led the charge to drive and monetize a narrative telling millions of people that I'm a fraud or I tried to scam my audience.
So, even before CoffeeZilla made this video, every single one of the investors of CryptoZoo felt like they had been scammed by a fraud named Logan Paul. CoffeeZilla told their story. They are real victims, lost real money on your project. And CoffeeZilla told their story and tried to give an explanation for what happened. This was not CoffeeZilla that started this. Even if one of those victims is shady himself, that doesn't discredit all of the other very real, normal audience members that lost money on your shit. Jake did nothing wrong, he was screwed over. There is no such thing as a Crypto King meat writer. There's no way I just read that. That has got to be a bot, no shot. That man is a serial scammer. Do I feel bad for Logan Paul and his team getting used by Jake? No. It's scammers scamming scammers. But Jake, the Crypto King, is legitimately one of the slimiest men the internet's ever had. He bounces from Pokemon scams right into NFT scams, CryptoZoo, like, the guy sucks. But at least in this case, he scammed scammers for the most part, but that also did have the impact on normal, real people who also lost money. So fuck him. He's not some Robin Hood who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. He stole from the rich and the poor and kept it for himself.
Well, welcome back. Since I'm officially not quit from Troll Race, I'm gonna give you a little tour of what my base around here is.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video What?
That was the wrong one.
Glad to meet South 3 with no cameras. Ooh, good one. Yeah, no, DJ Sturf already did it.
Oh, yeah, I did say that.
Alright, see you next year. You better have a decent idea by then.
Wait, hold on. I really like this game. Can I just do this one? It's gonna be really cool, I promise.
You know, I'm fine.
I am still here.
That's right, nobody's gonna stop me from having the worst ideas possible. Not the random voice, not me, and especially not a dead British pedophile in a fursuit. So, you heard that right. In today's video, we are going to be beating Five Nights at Freddy's 3, but under no circumstances am I allowed to use the cameras. The rules for this challenge are going to be very straightforward. We must complete every single night in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 without ever opening our camera panel. If you somehow don't know, in FNAF 3, moving your cursor to the far right of the screen will cause a box to appear. Clicking on said box will open the camera panel, which is home to many crucial features, none of which we can use. And to make sure you understand how absolutely painful this challenge is, it's time for the return of the attempt counter from the FNAF 4 video. Let's go! This counter goes up every single time I die and will always be in the top left corner. Also, throughout the video, we're going to be playing a game involving this attempt counter. At the beginning of each night, I want you to go down to the comment section and guess how many attempts the night will take. If you get it right, I don't know. As always, if you want to see all the uncut footage for each night, that's going to be available on my second channel, Chicken Ninja 43, and there's also going to be a link in the description to the video. So with all that said, let's just get this challenge started with night 1. Before I say anything about this night, of course, massive shout out to the legend himself, DJ Sturf. As you could tell from the intro, he did this challenge a while ago, and I really wanted to try it out myself. So again, shout out to the king, DJ Sturf. Now, getting back to night 1, it is physically impossible to die during this night. The only animatronic capable of killing us in this game is Springtrap, and he's not coded to spawn in. Other animatronics known as phantom animatronics will spawn later in the game starting on night 2, but they don't kill us, they just give us lung cancer. What I'm trying to say is, I could easily beat night 1 blindfolded in Burger King with 5 warrants out for my arrest. That's not my next video, by the way. So, since I have nothing to say about this night, I'm gonna take this opportunity to explain the game's map, as well as why this challenge is going to be so insanely difficult. First off, here's the map. It consists of 10 different main cameras, as well as an additional 5 vent cameras, and also looks like a man when you flip it upside down. Obviously, the whole point of these cameras are for tracking Springtrap and ensuring he does not reach our office either by walking there or by taking a vent. This is made worse because, much like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, this game does not have any doors we can use to protect us. Instead, the player needs to utilize kid noises to keep Springtrap away and seal off vents to ensure he doesn't take a vent. The kid noises or audio lures are pretty simple. We select a camera we want Springtrap to go to, and if he's close enough to it, there's a 6/7 chance or 86% chance for him to be attracted to the kid's voice. The problem is, these audio lures are only available if we open the camera system, which means we can't use them. Hold on, it might not be too bad. What about the vents? Taking a look back at the map, we can see the 5 different vent paths. The Cam 11 vent connects Cam 9 to either Cam 7 or Cam 1. The Cam 12 vent connects Cam 7 to Cam 1. The Cam 13 vent connects Cam 5 to Cam 1. The Cam 14 vent connects Cam 10 directly to our office. And finally, the Cam 15 vent, which connects Cam 2 directly to our office as well. So if Springtrap is on any of these cameras, he has a chance to enter a vent and will play this noise when doing so. When we hear this noise, we need to open up our camera system, toggle the vent map, find the vent he's in, and double click it to seal the vent and force him back out. Oh yeah, that uses the cameras. So yeah, we can't move Springtrap around at all. We also can't stop him from killing us at all. But you know what I can do? Sit in the office and watch The Game Theory.
Psychologically manipulate a small, young girl to be my life
What the
partner.
fuck? Okay, maybe not that. The whole serial killer trying to kill me thing is gonna need some strategizing, but for now, I don't care. I sit in the office for 4 minutes because this night is 2 minutes shorter than the others, and now it's time for night 2. It's also time to start panicking. Fazbear Fright Horror Attraction, local amusement park is getting ready to scare your socks off with an attraction based to solve the mysteries of Fazbear Pizza. Freddy, featuring me, goddammit!
Hey, glad you came back for another night.
Me too, man.
Make sure no one steals anything or makes
Go ahead and kiss me on my...
What the fuck? Yeah, what are you talking about?
We don't have something really cool by next week, so we may have to suit you up in a furry suit and make you...
Whoa! Look at that kid's gun. Look at that kid. It looks like Peter Griffin! It looks like a pencil sharpener, but it also looks like a hot dog. Comment down below right now. What do you think it is? Sharpener or Glizzy Gang? Ah! They got me. Alright, night 2, we have to leave Burger King. I got kicked out and arrested. We also have to actually start playing the game now. Starting in night 2, not only will Springtrap start spawning, but so will Phantom Balloon Boy, Phantom Mangle, and Phantom Foxy. But since only a few phantoms spawn during this night, I won't be talking about them. Instead, I'll be talking about the mentally 80-year-old man. What the f does that even mean? 900 pounds? Because we have virtually no way of protecting ourselves from Springtrap, we need to not only understand what makes him move, but also where and when he will move. Luckily for us, this can all be discerned from this one equation. What this equation means is every second, the value of this variable known as move counter will increase by 1. The move counter is then compared to this expression containing a bunch of different variables, and if the value of the move counter is greater than the value of the expression, then he will move. First off, this refers to Springtrap's AI value, which is the same as the night's number we are currently on. So for night 2, it will be 2, for night 4, it will be 4, etc, but in night 1, to ensure he doesn't move, this number is set to 0 rather than 1. Next, this refers to whether or not Springtrap is aggressive, which, believe it or not, has nothing to do with the aggressive modifier. For the majority of the night, this value will stay at 0 unless one of these 3 things happen, then it will change to a 1. Either the time passes 4 AM, we receive a ventilation error, or we do absolutely nothing in the office for 10 seconds. Moving on from that variable, this means a random number from 1 to 15 is selected and becomes the value. That's it, it's just a random number generator. And finally, this total turns variable refers to some random involving something known as action selection. Action selection is what determines where Springtrap will move when he is granted to do so. Whenever Springtrap tries to move, a random number from 1 to 4 is selected. If this number is 1, it means he stays where he is and the value of the total turns increases by 1. If the number is 2, it means he will move to the camera behind him. If the number is 3, it means he will move to the camera in front of him. And if the number is 4, it means he will enter a vent if he's on a camera that has one. If not, he just stands there as if the number was a 1. So again, with all these variables determined, if the move counter is greater than the expression, he is able to move, and will move to positions on the map depending on what random value is selected for the action selection variable. If you want to know more about the AI in this game, definitely check out this video made by the Game Exploiters. It's really good, goes way more in depth than I am, and it's where I got most of my information. Back to this video, what I'm saying with all this math and variables and expressions might sound like the most useless shit you've ever heard in your entire life, and you'd be right. But specifically for this challenge, it's important. We need to learn how to minimize these values to make sure he moves as little as possible, because just in case you forgot, all I can do without the camera is sit in the office and play with my For now, it's only night 2, so if I'm being completely honest, he doesn't move that often. In night 2, and basically the rest of this challenge, our biggest threat is him jumping in a vent, especially the 2 that lead to our office since they result in an insta-kill. But in classic fashion, I had no strategy, yet I still managed to finish this night after only 4 attempts. I didn't do anything cool, I just got lucky.
This great audio that I found. Talk to you later, man.
Hang tight, brother. Irreparable, grotesque,
Turning the crank will recoil and compress the animatronic parts around.
These animatronics have
Please make sure the spring locks are fast and tight.
Springtrap has recoil? You. Hey man, how's it going? Where I'm dead. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming back for another night. Suck my testicle. Dude, we found these things. They're definitely gonna rip your cock off, but dude, they're so cool, man. It's really only a problem if I hear a vent noise, like actively. So. Like that! He's not outside my... Dude, you. You're actually such a nerd! Trying to figure out how this goofy ass dude. Come on! I'm gonna make a break for it. Much like a lot of the other challenges I do, Night 3 is where I start to realize I've made a very big mistake. Not only does Springtrap have an easier time moving around in this night as his AI value increases from 2 to 3, but also almost all of the Phantom animatronics are now present in this night, those being Phantom Balloon Boy, Mangle, Freddy, Chica, and Foxy, literally every single one except for Phantom Puppet. However, since these schizophrenic robot visions are important to the challenge, I'm gonna explain how all of them work. First up, we got the kid that Springtrap is attracted to. I gotta stop saying that. Balloon Boy and every other Phantom animatronic will have the same AI value as the night number. Unless it's night 1, then we know the AI value is 0, and if it's night 6, then the AI value is 7. For Balloon Boy, he can spawn every 20 seconds, and he has the same % chance to spawn as 10 times the AI value. So for night 3, he will have a 30% chance of spawning every 20 seconds. When he does spawn, he'll appear on one of the cameras and jump scare us, giving us a ventilation error unless we're able to switch to a different camera quick enough. As you can guess, since we never open up the camera, we never have to look at his ugly big-ass face, and therefore cannot get jump scared. Up next, we have Phantom Mangle, who works almost the exact same as Balloon Boy. Same AI and spawning %, so 30% every 20 seconds on night 3, However, it'll only spawn on camera 4. We can again avoid the jump scare by switching off the camera, but if we don't, Mangle will appear outside our window for a while, and instead of giving us a ventilation error, Mangle will give us an audio error. Yeah, Mangle is the most useless one. Not only could we never encounter it without the cameras, but even if we managed to do so, we would get an audio error and we can't even use the audio lures in the first place. Also, please don't comment if I misgendered this robot. Please, I tried. The next Phantom gives me PTSD from the last FNAF 3 challenge I did.
I clicked on the camera!
Yeah, it's the weird lanky kid. I hate this one. Phantom Puppet will spawn at cam 8 with the same chances and opportunities to spawn as all the others I've talked about. If they do spawn, we have half a second to switch the cameras, or else they force us into the ultimate staring contest, which leaves us defenseless for approximately 17 seconds. Literally, the one and only good thing about this challenge is I no longer have to deal with this kid anymore, because much like the others, they will only appear on the cameras. Phantom Chica is just an easier version of Phantom Balloon Boy, and that's it. Same chances to spawn, same 20-second countdown, same ventilation error after the jump scare, but instead of appearing on multiple cameras, Chica can only appear on one camera, which is cam 7. Also, her jump scare looks ridiculous. After Phantom Chica, we finally have one that is different, and that one is Phantom Foxy. Phantom Foxy will appear on the left side of our screen near the maintenance panel, and once we turn to look at him, he will instantly jump scare us, resulting in a ventilation error. Although there's no normal way to get rid of him, he will just stand there forever until we stare at him and then he jumps at me like I charged him with assault. There is a glitched way to get rid of him by slowly turning to see him, then flipping our camera system up and down, which despawns him. But for obvious reasons, that's not allowed. Wait, hold on. I never actually explained how he spawns in the first place. Unlike the others, Foxy has some really weird chances of spawning. In Night 2, he has a 1 out of 1,000th chance. In Night 3, he has a 1 out of 50 chance. In Night 4, he has a 1 out of 25 chance. And in Night 5 and 6, he has a 1 out of 10 chance. And here's the best part. These spawn opportunities will run every time we open the camera system. So, as long as we never open up the cameras, then Foxy will never even have an opportunity to spawn in the first place. Yeah, that's right, 0 for 5 on Phantom animatronics. The doctor lied, I don't have schizophrenia, I'm just super cool. And as the last Phantom animatronic in the game, we have the main mascot himself. No leg, Freddy Fazbear. Phantom Freddy has the same AI chance thingy as all the other ones, 30% chance each opportunity. However, he has these spawn opportunities every 60 seconds instead of the regular 20 seconds, and he will also be guaranteed to spawn at 4 AM each night. When he does spawn in, he does this weird jig across the office window like he's trying to seduce me or something. I don't like it. While he's doing this dance, if we stare at him for a certain amount of time, he will duck down and jump scare me, which of course gives a ventilation error. For Night 3, which is the night he begins to spawn in, he will jump scare us after staring for 240 frames. For Night 4, it's 210 frames. For Night 5, it's 180 frames. And for Night 6, it's 150 frames. So with all that said, this seems pretty unavoidable. He has chances to spawn every hour, regardless of if we've used our camera. And I can't open the camera system to not stare at him, so I get jump scared every time he spawns. But wait, even though I can't open the camera system, I can open my maintenance panel. That's right, 0 for 6, boy. I can open up my maintenance panel to make the game think I'm not sitting inactive inside the office, and therefore am not staring at Phantom Freddy, which virtually deactivates him. We just need to make sure that we never put down our maintenance panel, because then he can jump scare us. That's definitely not going to be a problem later. Anyways, Night 3 was supposed to be difficult as it introduced many new animatronics, but we just found ways to get rid of all of them, meaning we just need to get slightly luckier than back in Night 2. Eventually, we're able to get it done in 5 attempts, bringing the total attempt counter to 9. Oh, babe, phone guy! Yo! What's up?
Training on proper suit handling techniques.
Oh, I don't even get the this is the training tape. Man, you. Oh. Hey, man. I've been told I do a mean Five Nights at Freddy's impression. But he's definitely at my window. That ambient sound is so loud. Yeah, I knew it. He's not there yet. Now he's there. Don't do it. I know it's not enough time. I don't have enough time. All right, I'm just gonna... Yep. He could have been in 2. It was not in 2. How about you just go f off? How about that? You too. Go ahead. Run through the hallway. Run through the hallway. The cops are gonna catch you. The cops are gonna get you. They know what you did to Balloon Boy. That kid's happy. Bonnie's giving him cupcake. Happy. Because I threatened that I was gonna call the cops. I'm not actually gonna call the cops. Unless you kill me. If you kill me, I'll call the cops. If you kill me, I'll call the cops on you! Don't do it. Let's go! Threatened to snitch. He only kills children. Bonnie did not die there. You are lying to me, game. Heading into night 4, I have a good feeling about this night. Okay, maybe not. Because of how limited I am in this challenge, our entire strategy for this game is going to revolve around one thing: scamming Springtrap.